Hi there. So while I was thinking about my next build, I decided to grab a snack and got one of these bun cakes from a local bakery store called Nothing Bun Cakes. And I looked at the container. It looks pretty promising. So what popped in my head right away is it's an orc hut. So I'm going to turn it into an orc hut. Hopefully you guys watch and enjoy what I do. So I've recently been made aware that a handful of my subscribers don't really have access to insulation foam since they live in warm climate countries. So I've decided to make this build foam free, and so I'm just gonna use this cupcake container, a wooden stick that I actually found at the dollar store, brown paper bags, and a lot of air dry clay. Hopefully it works out. Because of my propensity to not measure or not mark anything, I accidentally cut way too much of this opening, so it looks horrible. It looks so uneven and very jagged, even for an orc hut. So we should really learn not to just cut randomly, but I'm gonna fix it with this piece that I cut off from the base, which used to be, well, now it's the opening for the door. So I'm gonna put it up here. I don't know how this lip thing is gonna work. I don't know what it's gonna be for, but it's a nice option to have for maybe something to build on later. So it's a happy little accident. So I'm going to use this or a bunch of these wooden sticks as wooden structures on the top of the orc hut. So it's going to look like this, and I'm just going to cover it with brown paper bags as the leather. But as of now, these brown sticks seem very smooth. I'm just gonna scratch it up, make sure that to make them look more wood-like, even though they are wood. But since they were processed so much that they're way too smooth now that it's kind of lost its wooden look to it. I just scrape it up, get some wood grains in there. Just make sure not to scratch your own hand. So get it a little bit more scratched up. And then I'm gonna make it pointed to make it look like it's whittled to kind of have like a spear point. And to do that, I'm just gonna use a pencil sharpener. Actually not sure if this is gonna work or not, but it's worth a try. I mean, if it fails, I could always just do it the old-fashioned way and actually whittle it. But this is just much faster, much easier, hopefully. Okay. Awesome, it actually worked. So a few more turns here to make sure it's a little bit more pointy. Actually, it looks like a pencil, but I kind of just carve it up a little bit to make it look actually whittled as opposed to like processed. And there you go. Okay, now that the spikes for the roof of the ORC hut is finished, I'm gonna use cheesecloth to make the ropes that simulates it being tied together. So use some regular PVA glue. I just cut out a strip of the cheesecloth and I kind of just get my fingers all dirty with the PVA glue and kind of just roll it around. Make it look like a rope of some sort. So I've pretty much been just ripping pieces of brown paper bags and just hot gluing it all over the place. It kind of looks like leather, some sort of burlap all over the ORC hut. So far it's kind of looking like leather, I would say. So now I'm gonna attempt to make a simulated stitching between the leathers. I'm gonna use, so it's a reed stick. I'm just gonna strip in really small and probably cut this instead of doing it by hand, but oh well. So it's essentially gonna look like this. Well, that actually came out better than I thought it would. Got the sticks pretty much looking like stitches between the leather. Next step is going to be, I'm going to make horns or like bones that pretty much jut all over the place from all different angles of the hut out of clay. So not bad, so far so good. So before I start the clay bones, I've kind of looked at this thing. It looks really bare, so I've decided to add a little bit of structure between the curve of the roof and the main base of it. So I'm gonna split some of these pieces of wood and hopefully just line it around to make it a little bit more, not as uniformed, but it looks too simplistic. I want to make it a little bit more like woodsy. I'm just going to use a regular knife and hopefully not cut my fingers. Hope this works. Oh, all right, cool. And it looks worn. It looks very wood looking, so I'm just gonna glue it around the area before I do anything else and have it dry. Okay, now I will start making some bones, scatter bones all over the place, and kind of like a threshold for the opening, something like this here, and maybe a few that's jutting out of this area. Just have it like look like spikes coming out. So apparently I didn't store my air dry clay very well, and it's a little bit hard already. Hopefully that just means it dries faster, because I really don't have the patience for the dry time. And I mean, it can be rough looking, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. They're old bones. So something like this ish. Maybe a little bit longer. And I'm gonna put toothpicks as kind of like backbones for this thing, because I've learned the hard way previously that if you don't do any kind of support structure for these clay pieces, they tend to fall apart. Plus I'm gonna put some sticks where I plan to glue it to kind of have this extra support into the structure. So something like this. So when I finally glue it into the structure itself, it has something that will hold into the structure along with the glue, because sometimes the glue doesn't even really hold as well on clay. So while these clay bones are drying, you're essentially going to come here like this, and then the other one here, kind of like the threshold. Actually, should have probably tried to see how that was going to look, huh? But hopefully it works. Either way, it's an orc hut. It's not meant to be pretty. So while that's drying, I'm going to use the tips of these skewer sticks and line the wood here to make it a little bit more ominous, make it a little bit more intimidating. After a long and arduous campaign, the orc horde has finally made it back. And Zog Onion Spear has made a feast in their honor. Eat at your own peril.